Raymond Peter Longo now joins us live. Good Tuesday to you, sir. Raging Al Iaquinta.
Wow. Wow. Come on, who doesn't love to see this kid fight?
I'm telling you, I said before you came on the air, I have a hard time when I'm not working staying up for these main cards on the Eastern time zone, till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I stayed awake for Raging Al. He was literally what was keeping me awake, and I'm glad I stayed up for it, obviously.
I'll tell you, he delivers. I mean, you got, look, 2 co-main events, 2 knockouts. I mean, he's got some gripes. I'm not saying he's going about it in the right way. But I'll tell you what, man, he delivers. He really delivers, man. And that kid's a fighter, period. He's going to go for it. And I don't think he's ever been in an adult fight. I really don't, So, again, I feel for him because I think he should be making some money,
Ray, it was an amazing performance, man. It looked like he didn't take any time off at all. He was very composed. And let's talk about that. Obviously, yeah. I think that he deserves to be paid. He's an exciting fighter. He always brings it. What do you think about the things that he said, after the fight? And Matt, I know Matt obviously is close to Dana, obviously one of Al's coaches. What does he think about all this?
Yeah, look, man. I mean, look, we train him. We love him. We definitely don't agree with the way he goes about certain things. I think, he is who he is. He's an individual, and, I'm definitely not his father. But, my concern is that he goes in there and he fights. And I think that's where the problem comes is that, Ken, you've been in those fighter meetings. I mean, he's doing exactly what Dana's saying to do. He's going out and he's not leaving it to the judges. And then to not get rewarded for that, you got to feel the guy's frustration a little bit. Right. You know what I mean? And I don't know who's coming up with the bonuses and all of that stuff, but he does produce. I think that's where I have the problem. So, I definitely don't agree with, the way he goes about doing some of the stuff, but I think it's just you're seeing like a really totally frustrated kid out there. And then, he's not the most comfortable guy with the mic. And then I just think it gets, it skyrockets out of control, or it spirals out of control. And I mean, he's really like a great kid. Everybody loves this kid. But I think it's like, look, I didn't add to it. You know what I mean? Like after the fight, I'm like, dude, you just got, the bonus. I think he's like, you say that all the time. I go, no, but this time, you're the co-main event. You did something that nobody really has done before like that. A legend in the sport and all of that. Nothing. And then I think he just goes nuts, and I'm not really with him at that point. So, I'm not there to reel him in, but, like him, not like him, he comes to freaking fight this kid, man. He really does. He puts on a show.
It can't be denied, man.
I don't know. I wish they'd just get behind him and build him up and do something. I don't know.
Do you think this is something that is going to happen? What do you think the chances are at this point, percentage-wise, if you can, that he's going to get re-signed?
Look, I have a business, right? I don't want to be told how to run my business, to be honest with you. So, look, Dana's running the business. He's going to do what he's going to do, I mean, but I think if Al could make them money and they see that, then they'll work with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sure... it's like, again, it's a business like anything else. And, maybe it plays into the future for everybody making a lot of money. Who knows? But I don't know what they're going to do. Obviously, right now, they're definitely not happy. So we'll wait and see. But, I mean, he is an exciting fighter. And, again, I think he does exactly what they tell him to do. He doesn't leave it in the hands of the judges. And he puts on the show. And that's my dilemma with everything is I just would love to see the guy get rewarded for that.
There's no denying when that octagon door closes, he does his job in terms of what promotionally they would like a fighter to do, as well as anybody on the roster, and has, obviously for much of his UFC career. There was the last 2 years of inactivity due to the knee injury. But as far as you know, he is bonus eligible. There are some reports out there that maybe he's not eligible to receive a bonus. But as far as you know, he is eligible to receive performance bonuses, yes?
Wait, that's as far as I know, but I really...
Okay.
I didn't know it the first time, so I've never really talked to him. But he didn't say that when I said, yeah, I think you're getting a bonus this time. He didn't say I'm not eligible, so I'm assuming... that's all good, but I really don't have the I'm not 100% sure of that. No.
So we were talking before you came on about how do you quantify Iaquinta's value to the UFC? Because gosh, I mean, as a fighter, he does everything you'd like him to do, and has an infectious way about him, and even the whole Raging Al thing. I mean, the Raging Al thing. There's a huge angle there. I guess here at lightweight, though, he's number 14 in the world. So I think the best way for him to make money, if the knee and everything else can hold up, right, would be to stay active and try. I know it's easier said than done, right? But to try to get a big fight quickly against somebody in the top 10 and work his way into these bigger fights that command bigger dollars. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he was ranked in the top 10. I think at one point they pushed him back because of the inactivity, but I think he was up there. I mean, he's got a pretty good highlight reel if you look at it. Like right now.
No, he might be in the top 10 once they redo him.
It's hard to stay active when you think you're getting cheated. That's the dilemma for him, is that when it's all said and done and he's paying taxes and his training camps, he's not coming out of there with a lot of money. And he has he's got a sizable amount of fights, I think, in the UFC now. I mean, look, like again, it's a business. I promote fights. I'm co-owner with Lou Negley in the Ring of Combat. So I get Dana's point. I'm on both sides of the fence with that. I have to deal with fighters, and I get it. You know what I mean? And Dana's going to do what he thinks is best for his company, and that's Ray, perfect, man. That's fine.
Ray, do you think they maybe see him as a liability because of his knee injury as well? That maybe he might not be as reliable.
They could. I'm sure they're looking at like a Cain Velasquez in the same way. You're not sure what's going to happen with him. He's been injury-plagued, and injuries are a huge part of this whole promotion now. I mean, it's tough to stay healthy as you get a little older. But, I guess they analyze everything.
Well, he's won 5 in a row, 4 of them by knockout or TKO. None bigger than this last one against Diego Sanchez. I'm really excited for the future. You got Chiesa and Kevin Lee, I think, coming up in a main event in June. Those guys, at least right now, are ranked above him. But, I mean, Ray, there's no denying he's got a big fight coming up next. I don't know how many fights he has left or the exact length of his contract, but hopefully they can come to terms, because I feel like this would be somebody that Dana would really like as a fighter. I know you guys have a very close relationship with Dana, you and your team and Matt and everybody else, so hopefully everything works out and this guy's headlining a card here in 3 or 4 months,
And you got to remember, the only guy he didn't finish was Jorge Masvidal, who's an absolute killer. He's
might
a
fight
freaking killer, and Masvidal had him in trouble in the first round. Yeah. And this kid battled his way back. Whether you agree with the score, you don't agree with the score, that kid was fighting. He was going forward, and that's against a guy that's been dismantling people. You know what I mean? So I think, like again, when you look at Al, he didn't finish Masvidal, but not many guys can say they did that. You know what I mean? And he's only going to get better and better, Jorge. So I don't know. I look at that as one of his better fights, even though he didn't finish it, because of the talent that Masvidal had. You know what I mean? So it's not like the quantity of opponents; it's the quality. And Masvidal, I didn't realize how good he was until that fight, and I was like, "Well, this kid he's good." And I know he tortured himself to make the weight. That's why I think he's more successful at 170. But I don't know. It's kind of frustrating because, I wish he would have handled it a little different, because he had such a great victory, and to kind of throw it away with some of the other stuff is a shame to me. But I hope it all pays off in the end. I hope there's a method for the madness, and everybody comes to, an agreement. And, like, again, if Dana was to meet this guy, head on, he's going to love this kid. He really is. He's going to love him. The guy's a really 100%. Good guy. But you get him in those spots, it's rough, man. It is rough.
I don't know that the comments are going to be held against him. I guess just for me, and this is partially me playing devil's advocate, I'd love to hear him crack a mic and say, "Give me Edson Barboza, give me Michael Johnson. I'm better than guys ranked 5 and 6 in the world. Like, give me the Chiesa Lee winner, although maybe that fight doesn't make sense. Give me the Alvarez Poirier winner. Just match make yourself moving forward here at 155 pounds, because I think there are a lot of favorable fights and big fights out there for him."
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, but. Like, again, I don't think he's the most comfortable guy when that mic is in front of him. You could even see with Brian Stam trying to reel him in. He was all over the place. So, I think that's an area maybe he has to work on, speaking and getting comfortable. And, being able to express himself in the right way, because I think that's where the frustration is. And then when he can, he just reverts back to, going, getting a little lackey. But, like, again, my thing with him is how his performance is, and I can't ask for anything better from a fighter than what this kid does. I can't, and that's the frustrating part. I'd like to see him rewarded for what he's supposed to be doing, not for anything that's pre or post-fight stuff. When he gets in there, he's always in an exciting fight. He goes, Kenny, you notice, he goes to finish fights. He's not in there to dance around. He's going to fight you. And I don't know, man. I just would love to see the kid get rewarded just like everybody else.
I've heard you and Matt Serra gush about Iaquinta for years, not unlike the way you would gush about Chris Weidman, and you're right, just physically and mentally tough as anything, and obviously has the skills as well. And you're right, ultimately, you, Ray, you're focused on the performance, and it was essentially flawless over the weekend. So congrats on that. You could have charged a premium these last 3 weeks with these interviews. I mean, a huge, crazy 3-week stretch for you guys. You got the Weidman controversy, big win for Aljamain Sterling, huge win for Al Iaquinta. I mean, so do you get a week off? I mean, what
you know
holds
what?
for
I thought I had fights this week, and I was just informed yesterday they got pushed to May 6th. Thank God.
Yes.
Because I got to tell you, man, sitting in that locker room, I was telling Matt, I go, dude, I'm actually feeling this, man. I mean, I'm really feeling like I was, I was exhausted. That was a tough 3 weeks, just emotionally getting up for each guy. The controversy, that created a whole other set of problems with, people being pissed off at you and all of that shit. So it was a crazy 3 weeks. So, yeah, I missed my traveling partner, your buddy Jimmy. I missed him on the last trip.
Yes.
We've been through some crazy times on the airplanes, and I decided to fly American for some reason. So, whatever. But nutty time. I mean, 3 weeks, that was crazy. And I know people, I don't know how you guys do it when you travel and even to, announce fights, but just imagine having to get up and emotionally be there for everybody. It's tough, man.
No doubt about it. And that is, by the way, Jimmy Stewart, Anakin Florian podcast listener, one of our production guys. He's a Delta guy, so that's why
what a great guy, man. What a really, really super nice dude.
Yeah, 100%. Well, hey, congrats, 2-1 on the 3-week stretch, and certainly the loss may be still pending. So enjoy the week off, and we'll bug you next Monday, I'm sure, about something. But thank you for your time as always. And please send Al our best. We weren't going to bug him today, but certainly would like to give him a hot mic in the future and just let him rip. So
if you want him on next week, let me know. I'll grab him on.
Sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
Just give me the word. All right, guys, man, listen, enjoy. I'm going to go get some sleep.